lovely people. So this video is going to be on the essentials for breastfeeding. There's not a lot, I'm going to be honest, because mostly it's attached. It does what you need it to do. So the first thing that you do need, though, when you're very first breastfeeding especially, is breast pads. I have none of these left. This came with my pump, and there were night and day Advents ones in there, and they were the best, and I couldn't get hold of any in my local shops, which is really, really annoying. But most people probably can. I live in a fairly small town. But Advent ones, I highly recommend. There's night ones and day ones, and they're both brilliant. The other ones I used were Tommy Tippy ones. I have a whole box left because I bought too many. They are not as good as the Advent ones, I'm going to be honest, but they are still pretty good. What you don't want to use is like supermarket own brand ones. They are awful, just awful. So these ones are great because they have a sticker strip on the back so that you can they stick into your bra or your t-shirt or whatever you're wearing. I have a love-hate relationship with them. Firstly, they don't stay in place very well at night, and I leaked tons at night, and so I would still end up leaking through pyjamas and into my mattress and things like that. So a mattress protector, if you want to protect your mattress, is probably a good idea. And but they're great in the day, and you do leak so much that even having them in place, even if they don't get it all, they're going to help, because you're not going to have all of the milk that you leak in the night. Now there are things that you can get that are like, it's like a little cup that you can put on, so that when you are breastfeeding off one side, because you will leak off the other side when you first start breastfeeding whilst you're feeding on one side, and you can collect the milk in those. I've never used them, so I can't review them at all, but look into that if you're interested. Those are great. The other thing that you really need is a breast pump. So I have the Avent breast pump, and it is Philips Avent breast pump, and it looks like this, and it's great. So this is the power button, and then this is the first button that you press, and it does a kind of zoop, 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 zoop. It's meant to imitate a baby when they first suck, because they will suck fast first to get to stimulate the breast, and then they will do the long drawn out sucks to get the proper milk. And then there's 3 settings on here so that you can choose how long and firm you want the thing to be. Your breast will just react better to one or the other. Like for me, it was this one here. So that's good. I have stuff under my nails. This is one I highly recommend. A lot of people recommended this to me, and it is very, very good. The other one that's highly recommended is a Mandela. So it has this part, and you have attached. Oh, I could have done this better. This tube that goes in attaches to the top here, and then you just put this suck cup bit on your right nipple, and then this is what causes the. And then there's also, this in here rises up. It suctions, basically, is how it works. And then you get quite a few of these tubs, which you can store your breast milk in, and you can just directly put this onto this as an adapter, or you can just put use a bottle, and then you can pump straight into that. So that's a great way of doing that. Sorry, dropping things. What I found was, while these little pots are great, they take up quite a lot of storage room in your freezer. And it depends on how much breast milk you're going to store as well. Also for me, I can't express. So I can express maybe 2 ounces at a time. So it's not a lot of milk, and 2 ounces in that is about this much. So that's a lot of space for not very much milk. So for me, the other thing that are fantastic are Laninosh. These little bags. Because then they can be very flat if they've got a little bit of milk in them. You can get loads of them. They're not expensive at all. Amazon is where I got these from. And then you can write on the name of the child if you've got twins or whatever, the time that you breastfed, the date, and how much is in there, because it doesn't always stay exactly, especially if you like it flat. and a lot of people recommend lying them flat because they stack better. So they are fantastic if you're going to express. You will probably need to express off at least somewhat when you first start breastfeeding because you will oversupply. Now, whilst you need to not do it too much, otherwise it will just, you constantly will oversupply, there'll be times where you are desperate to get some off. So this is great. Also, I recommend personally trying to get into a pumping routine every day. It's something I didn't do and I wish I had done. I wish I had just pumped once a day consistently so that if I did need the milk I'd have it, because Elizabeth took a bottle until about 4 months and there was occasions where I wish I'd been able to give her one and I didn't have any milk. So, and perhaps I would have been able to express more if I'd done it every day. So you don't know, but those are things. And then the last and only other thing, I want to recommend for breastfeeding is a cover. Now you can pay like a lot of money for these, you can pay not so much money for these. In two minds, this was a cheap one off of eBay and I like it, but I don't think its durability has been fantastic and I sort of wish I paid more money for one. That being said, it does the job, so whatever way you want to go with it. So it has a strap that is adjustable that goes over your head, and then it has a like a wire in here that keeps it propped outwards so that you can look down and see baby. It works fairly well. I've seen better ones on more expensive brands. So, and then the other thing that's fantastic about this one is it has this cord across the backs of it. So this, you put this bit over first, and then you put your shoulder strap on, and what it does is it holds these flaps actually to the side of you so that when baby is under here, it's keeping them more in place so that you don't flash, and you can tighten it up if you want to as well, which I just never do because it works well enough like that, and it's easier to get on and off if it's loose. But yeah, these are fantastic, especially for when you're first starting and you are not comfortable about flashing all over the place and the baby takes a long time to latch on. It is tricky. You've got to get used to it because there's material and you've got to move the material out, plus trying to get down and sorting the baby out. So they are tricky. They take a bit of getting used to, but it's easier than when you're in public. It made me far more comfortable. I don't wear this anywhere near as often as I did when I first started, because you get used to it. You get used to latching the baby on, and I tend to go somewhere that's just easier to do it and I don't worry about flashing. If I'm with my friends, for example, a lot of them breastfeed. I'm not bothered by just having my baby out then. And if I'm at home, I don't obviously bother with this. At church, I always wear this. And if I'm anywhere with people I don't know or people that aren't breastfeeding themselves, I will wear this. So I like to always have it with me. But sometimes I'll just go sit in the car. It's easier. It's each to their own. Some people aren't bothered by flashing out all over the place, and that's great if that's the kind of person you are. But if you're not, if you are a little bit less comfortable with that, this is essential. This would be my top of my list. This and the breast pump. Actually, just all of them are kind of equally important. Yeah, okay, so those are my essentials for breastfeeding. There's pretty much nothing else you need. Some people will say about cabbage leaves, they have these cold presses things. I didn't use them, it didn't make any difference to me. Particularly the pain was there regardless. And it went quite quickly, so... Well, I say quickly, at the time it felt like forever, but it was within 2 weeks. So those are my essentials for breastfeeding. Hope you enjoyed the video.